Hey everybody, Asher here, and it is Stellaris time. That's right, this is a live stream of well, it's midnight here. It's in the morning in Europe for those who are here joining me from across the Atlantic. And we're going to be playing some Stellaris today because, you know what, the embargoes are up, and I figure we can just stream whatever. If we look at the multiplayer options, are there anybody available right now? Probably nobody out there just yet. You can scan land, which is pretty cool, but if we scan the internet, nobody's playing multiplayer right now. Boo. So what we're going to do here just for the stream is that I can actually play into some games that I've previously done. I've played a few offline just to say, hey Swedish Whore, how are you doing today? And what we're just going to do is create a new race. Like I said, for Stellaris, those of you who don't know, Paradox Space Grand Strategy game. Very exciting. I've had a lot of time to put into it so far, and it has exceeded my expectations, which is a little odd because I was very hyped about it already. As is. But we're just going to make a race. I could play as space humans. The Sol system is pretty interesting, but from what I've found, it is a very it's a very powerful system, as it were. But we're just going to go ahead and make a race. Lots of different options. I'm going to click through them just for people to see. And I don't know. There's a few things that I'm partial to. Kind of like these avians, it's a little bit crazy here. I do have, like I said, a Let's Play here that's actually, that was not available the last time I was trying to make a mollusk, so that's new. What else? We got some other newbies here. Wow, that is a weird hybrid fungus as well. What other new things do we have waiting around here? More arachnids, more avians, so that's nice that they're throwing out even more options. And I think the porcupines are already there, but that's pretty cool. Think though, as fun as it would be to go with the space pterodactyls here, I mean, I am kind of partial to these as well, so we shall stick with that. Now in terms of a name, I'm not 100% sure in terms of what we might want to do for a name. I don't know if Twitch chat has any suggestions for what this might look like or what this might be. We can just call it plenty of different things here. Could call it I don't know. Let's see what the dice gives us first. Kemplar, no. Ikanen, no. Rixie, that's interesting. We could be the Rixie. I'm pretty impartial just to having some things that are set out here, and I kind of want to dive into the game a little bit, so we'll do that. There's different options for actually doing name list. We'll just do, how bad are the avian ones? Avian, you know, I kind of like Avian 3. The very descriptive things for like leader names, ship names. It's all very interesting. You look at some of the other ones like, okay, not mammalians so much, but like the mollusks. I could have had some less pronunciation issues, but like some of these are just harsh on there. So we're going to go with, what was it, Avian 2? No, Avian 3. Yeah, Avian 3. I think that's pretty cool. So next, traits. If we're going to be doing some kind of late night space conquest, how can we do this? We can make ourselves agrarian, thrifty, industrious. You know, I kind of like the idea of getting more minerals. What else can we do? We can make ourselves adaptive or rapid breeders, talented, quick learners. Nomadic's not bad. Communal's not bad. Let's make ourselves communal too. So that means we have multiple minuses that we can give ourselves or have to give ourselves. Unfortunately, if you look around, and this will be fixed with mods, I'm sure, but at least with the version that's here right now, there's not a lot of negatives. So it's a little hard to like choose something like extremely adaptive and then knock yourself down in the amount of picks that you have. But if we go ahead and knock ourselves down just a little bit, we could say that we are, don't know, slow breeders, slow learners, weak, sedentary, repugnant. I think we can do sedentary. So these birds like to sit on their nest. That's fine. So male or female. Claws of yellow. Pretty interesting. And we don't have too many choices. Are there even clothes? Doesn't even look like it. That's okay. So we have lots of different worlds that we can choose from, and we can do Sindor with the star Sithra, that's fine. like I said, my goal is kind of just to dive into the game a little bit here, but if you want to see some of the options that are in fact available, we have things like Tropical World, Desert World, Arid World, Tundra World, Arctic World, World, I can't even talk, Ocean World. So if we were the bird people, obviously Ocean would be pretty hilarious, but I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really play out too much other than like some of where you get some of the tile blockers. Like Arctic tile blockers are a pain to actually get to pop up in the research world. But I do like the idea of desert birds. So dry rocky with nitrogen, oxygen atmosphere, precipitation, and major bodies of surface water relatively rare. So vegetation is scarce, but even moderate precipitation can make the desert bloom. That's fine, and just you have your different options for backgrounds here. The avian's one of my favorite ones anyway. I don't know, just the swoopy architecture. Still doesn't exactly register as the birds. And then we have ethics, which will determine your government system. And we could do something boring, like just 3 tiny ethics. But most of the people that you'll encounter in the game actually are fanatical in some way, shape, or form. So I did promise conquest here, so we're going to be fanatic militarist, which means we cannot actually select peacefulness too, but oh, I like the little tactical map up there. It's very fun. The ability to project force is of paramount importance. The only way to preserve our way of life is to make sure everyone shares it willingly or not. So what else can we do? We can choose one more trait. Materialist is decent for the research bonus. Xenophile versus xenophobia. Collectivist, that's okay. Spiritualist increases happiness. I don't know. Could just be fanatical person and leave it there. But I think I'm gonna go with materialist as well. Which, as we reach for the stars, we must put away our childish things, God, spirits, and other phantasms of the brain. Reality is cruel and unforgiving. Yet we must steel ourselves and secure our survival for a race through unflinching pursuit of science and technology. Wow, we have a lot of tech. We have a lot of governments available. Military republic every 5 years. War happiness, less ship upkeep. The junta or junta, 40 to 50 years, less ship cost and upgrade cost is low. Or dictatorship, which is interesting. Then we also have despotic homogeny or the science directorate or direct democracy. So a lot of these things are still really open to us. We could go as a despotic empire, which means we have to enslave people. But I kind of like the idea of the military republic. That's pretty good. So that way we'll get a lot of leader refreshment in here. And once again, this randomized name button is not working. Materialists, do they get robots? You know what? I can't say for sure if they do or they don't. That seems like what they were going for on the stream with the multiplayers, that a lot of people wanted to try to gun for robots here, but we could just call ourselves and I'm really annoyed that I can't get the random name thing here to work. There's a button that was working when I first got the game, but not so much now. The Rixian, I don't know, the Concord, that doesn't seem like the right word. So if we are, what are we again? We are a military republic. So we could just call ourselves the Rixian Protectorate. That can do fine. We can just say the RP or Rixian. That's cool. So then we have all these other options. There's one that you may have seen for the Domination Pack. That's, I believe, something that if you get you can get from your Paradox account. There's a lot of little options available here. So there are human ones, ornate ones. Getting a little slow to get all this through. Paradox, pirate, pointy, round. Round is somewhere. Let's do something like that. And then this is still pre-release, so we're gonna have a few issues, like I can't necessarily see the colors as I want to see them. Let's see, that's a decent color. Secondary color. Okay, some of these are just starting to mess with my eyes a little bit. Alright. It's like a lot of these go good with black. But I actually do like that blue-green puke a little bit from the desert world. It's just kind of a nice aspiration here. And then the other thing we have missile, projectile, or energy weapons. I'll go, you know what, I haven't really played a game with energy weapons, so we'll go pew-pew for the pew-pew boats this time. And then because I've gotten a chance to look at the game a little more, we'll do wormhole travel as well. So wormhole is fun. Avian ships, fun. And here's the Rixian Protectorate, who are industrious, communal, and sedentary, and are fanatic, militarist, materialist. We'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and save them for later, so now we can run into them. And we're going to do this, you know, I kind of want to do a huge one here, and let's do it as a ring galaxy. I haven't really seen much in the way of ring galaxies before. So let's go ahead and do it. Starting a new game, going to take a little bit of time to load in here. Once again, thanks to those of you who are able to join. My name's Asher, and we're playing some Stellaris today. And that's mainly just to celebrate the fact that we're releasing. I wasn't necessarily sure if I'd be able to stream at the midnight launch, but here we are. There we go. So the Rixian Protectorate, a military republic with the ruler of Claws of Yellow. Pretty cool. In the eons since the first primitive Rixie communities took shape amid the great dune seas of Sindor, our civilization has spread and prospered. Many wars are fought between our early nation-states, and those who cannot defend themselves disappeared or were absorbed by stronger neighbors. These endless wars fostered a strong military tradition, and to this day, full citizenship is reserved for those who are willing to sacrifice themselves in defense of the state. So this is the Starship Troopers future. That's fine. Now, after successful creation of artificial subspace wormholes, the finest minds of the Rixian Protectorate have finished construction of the first wormhole station at the edge of our system. The stars are finally within our grasp. So here's a wormhole station. How the wormhole station works is that anything within this circle we can jump to. We just have to jump through the wormhole station. So we do have a few things that are potentially already in our sensors. Potentially, oh wow, we actually have a tomb world over here too. So that'll be worth exploring. But we do have one desert world. So we know right away that we can make some things happen. We're going to go ahead. I just need to pause here. Solar panel network, deflectors. Let's do deflectors first. Naval capacity, biolab. We want to do colony ship, especially if there's a place we can colonize. And we'll do exopower skeletons just in case we need to conquer anybody on the ground. Alright, so science ship. Do your thing. And what does our system look like here? So I'm going to go ahead and unpause this. We're going to be going fastest for a while. Yeah, that's the thing about the range of wormholes. I was really surprised when I was playing a test game with the Wormhole Empire. So identified objects flying through. That's just nice passing through. And we got a bunch of alien vessels over here too. So this little circle is our sensor range. This bigger circle is the wormhole range. Now you'll see how this manifests itself. And it is a strategy that you can get yourself screwed over with. And keep in mind, this is default wormholes as well. So you can actually run into, and I need to really be going ahead and building a second, you need to build a second science ship. Yeah, what you run into is that these are choke points too. It takes a long time to make a wormhole. Pretty short to just sling one thing around, as we'll see here in just a minute. But the bigger wormhole, the bigger cusp of it, is that if you have bigger armies, you need to go through, and it takes a bit longer. So construction queue, we have another ship. Who's our scientist? We can have research speed, new worlds, anomaly discovery chance, or research speed. There's only one of those that's really viable. Alright. So Eyes of Triol. And we're going to go ahead and see how the wormholes work. You know what? I want to go ahead and go to this system. We're going to survey this. And we'll slow it down for just a second. So we can actually track the ship. If I can click on it correctly. There we go. So here's our super cool avian speed ships here. And there's the wormhole. Like I said, it doesn't take too long to generate a wormhole for just one. But you can see how long that ship's sitting there waiting for the wormhole to pass. And here we go. New system, we're actually going to get this one first. Too, so we may be able to get a colony before long. That's actually a pretty decent start with all these things around here. But yeah, I can jump into a lot of these, and keep in mind that I'm actually playing as a ring galaxy. So this is very interesting for some multiplayer aspects as well. So we've encountered a strange form of aliens. They're alpha aliens. And it did not take long for the Rixian Protector to come across intelligent alien life. Fleet report. Capital somewhat understates just how alien these forces appear. But yeah, pretty different, I'd say, just because we are... Can we actually zoom to the world from here? There we go. What do we want to do at the surface? I mean, I'm bouncing around a little bit here. We do have some blockers that we need to get out, so we can do that in a little bit. We have some unemployed pops. Let's go ahead and get some... Let's get some food going, I guess. Anything else we want to do here? Probably want to go ahead and put... Because we're probably going to be strapped for minerals here. We'll go ahead and get that started.
Anomaly found.
Alright, so leaders gained a level. And we have our first anomaly, signs of activity by ancient precursor in this inhospitable rock. And that's Leechy's Nest, which is somewhere in the system. Looks like it's back over. Interesting. Alright, so that's not where it was. It is down here. Alright, so anomaly level. And we're getting a lot of autosaves. I noticed they must have upped the autosave thing a little bit. By the way, let me know if my video quality here is alright or not. I'm not seeing too much in the way of drop frames, but you never know. So we do have a construction ship in orbit. We need to start changing that. And did we really get a hostile fleet? So pirate ships are suddenly launched where they've been hidden in the surface of fleet. Wow, that was fast. We actually don't have the means to deal with that just yet. We gotta build some corvettes. 2 should do it. So yeah, even when you that was actually a failure of our first anomaly, which is pretty sad. Okay, but right now it's trying to run. Let's send first murder. Oh, we actually lost our science ship. We actually lost our science ship that early. Wow. Oh no, we didn't. It's all the way over here, so you can repair. So it actually did an emergency jump automatically. And once we get these things up here, we can take out the space pirates. So that's great. Just first actual failure. And that's 2 ships. 1 Butterfingers, 1 my first ship too. That's hilarious. Okay. Well, I think our fleets were probably strong enough now. So more aliens. Interesting. Go ahead and take these guys out. We'll slow it down just a touch. Just so we can see the pew-pew lasers do their thing. Actually let them get over here though. So can we have you go back to surveying the system? I know we're not done. Alright, so there's all of our red lasers. Everybody's happy. They're pirates with our same technology, so we have an advantage right now, but we might lose 1 corvette in the process, which would stink. Yeah, that's an actual destroyer. It's like, it's not just, oh, we're taking out our science ship. It's, oh, that's an actual destroyer. How do they have more advanced ships as pirates than we do? It's gonna die here in just a minute. We lost a corvette in the process. Rip. Yeah, no, I understand what you mean in terms of burning out. It definitely is possible to just kind of sit back, take in just a little bit, and then kind of go on your own way. And I mean, that's a fair way to do it. The 9th is not that far off.
Construction complete.
And I know more than a few people that are kind of going to be doing the thing where just take a little bit of a look, but you already know you want to get the game, so you don't have to, like, go crazy. If that makes sense, that's a lot of energy. And we can't afford a mining station. Let's fix that. So I really need to be using that hotkey too. There we We're going to be running fastest a lot early because that helps. Especially when me myself, I'm not exactly sure when, like, I want to be streaming for a while, but there's always the possibility of, like, I have to drop this and pick it up a little bit later too. Plus there's a lot of other good fun streams as well out there. So let's hear, this system has been fully revealed. Analyze debris as well. We have hostile ships over here. We don't have to worry about that. But I just want to show you here, like when we survey the system, you have to jump back from over here and go over this way. Same for this. So this is going to create a little bit of a wormhole traffic here in just a second. We'll see who gets the wormhole made first. Also, you have to... oh, you actually get the wormhole priority first. That's nice. But because it's a tiny ship, it doesn't take that much. Alright. So, don't have another mining station right now. Did we ever finish... I don't think we actually finished surveying this system. Let's see. Did we?
Anomaly found.
Okay, we got a... oh man, 45% failure risk. Scanning the star unveils a small object in rapid orbit. Just leave that be for now. Yeah, we need to finish surveying this system here. That's right, we stopped because of the anomaly. And you can see little pings from where our sensors are going through. But yeah, other than some energy and some research, so far we only have a little bit of stuff to actually build. I don't really need to build a second construction ship yet. And that's one reason we can afford to go a little bit faster. We need to develop our infrastructure early. See what else we can research. And then get some stuff out. We have one habitable world nearby, which is great. We just need to find out what else is going on. The tutorial, and I'm sorry I'm a little slow in catching what's in chat here. The tutorial is... I'll be honest with you, I've heard good things about it, but I haven't actually used it myself, and I think part of that is because pretty much I didn't exactly take notes watching the Blorg stream, but I watched more than enough of it to kind of get the idea of this is what my plan's going to be in the early game, if that makes sense. So at least from the prompts that I got so far, it seemed like helpful stuff for you to get started. For instance, it's very contextual. If we go to the planet, the tutorial, which I have turned off, will tell you about this stuff. It'll tell you to look at the surface. It'll tell you about your pops, which I need to really build up my infrastructure here. But it's all... I mean, I've played a lot of 4X games, so it's fairly familiar to me. But there's some systems, too, where, like, it's easy to screw up, especially if you don't have... say experience with, oh, that's still a lot of alien vessels there. We're not going to play with that system right now, but especially if you don't have experience with other Paradox games, or even sometimes if you do, it's like I think that my people can take out all these guys and then you learn otherwise. So there's deflectors, new research. You can get the blue laser, more powerful than red lasers, or we can increase research speed for everybody, or we can go ahead and start going towards fusion power from that wreck. I think research speed early is just too good. We'll get blue lasers later, I hope. But I do think the tutorial will help. But there's always like questions to ask, or if you've seen my YouTube channel, I'm happy to answer comments and anything. And I never actually looked at this planet. Good enough tiles. Nothing super exciting, no special events, 2 mineral resources. We're getting a lot of notices for things passing through our system. Once again, we are in a ring here, so our neighbors are going to make good fences here in just a minute. But the key thing is that this is the part of the game where we just explore, explore, explore. You know what, in fact, we're going to go and research this. I'm actually going to build a third science ship.
Research complete.
And then we need to start thinking about colonization, 24 months away. But we can get a colony out here pretty soon. So, yeah, I think with your experience, which is far more robust than my experience in either CK2 or EU4, I think you're going to work out pretty well. Like, most of my experience comes from, like, Distant Worlds Universe or Galciv 2, other games like that. So I kind of come at it from the other perspective, from more the 4X side. But a small aerostat colony was found floating just above the atmosphere of martyrdom to it appears to have been self-sufficient and remains from those several different species found aboard. Best we can tell, the colony is some kind of social experiment conducted centuries ago, ultimately ended in the colonists massacring each other. Well, that's fun. We've downloaded the videos in the databanks.
Complete.
Because that's what we like to do. Now, I'm not going to send my construction ship to do a bunch of research right now. I can, well, you know, I can do one research station over here. Since that's 3, that's not terrible. We have new research to get over here, too. Ion thruster, mining network, or actually robot. That's nice. Robots are relatively simple machines capable of accepting verbal commands. So we can build robots. Let's do it. Robot workers. So you were right. The materialists, they love it. They love their robos. And we actually have another habitable planet down here too. So desert world, 23 tiles. Yeah, this is a much better candidate for colonization. And if we just drop it right here, we'll get some good adjacency bonuses because you get to pick where you colonize. Plus, this will extend our borders out. Now, granted, that may not mean a lot, but the idea is we at least have the option. But as long as we're within our border somewhere like at Sarab, we can actually build our what's here? Science ship. You're done. Let's go ahead and survey this one. And we're going to recruit a 3rd leader. It's a little much, I feel like, to do this, but we are not using the influence for anything else. So research speed, or doesn't really matter. We're just going to drop you in a ship and say fly. Because the more places we can survey, especially since we don't have to worry about things like hyperlanes and stuff. Some of these other alien vessels are around here just going to be doing their own thing. So anomaly, level 2, 30% failure chance. We'll wait on that. So we've encountered vessel in the Acer system. They're called Delta aliens. We're going to leave that aside right now. Let's look at our situation log real quick. Delta aliens. These all take 180 days. And we have the election of a new consul on its way. And we can actually check the election status. That's one downside of playing on fastest difficulty is that we have a lot of stuff to look at. So, who's our leader? Right now, it's this one. And Claws of Yellow. Building cost -15. Food 10. He's, like, not popular at all because he's a slaver. Legalizing slavery. That's his edict. So he's not very popular. Champion of the people and support or spaceport build cost, module cost. I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. Alright, now if we're going up here, how close are we to colonization? Oh, we actually have it. That's why we need to pay attention to what actual things get up here. So we can start getting +1 influence, or we can get farming subsidies. And that's just a flat empire bonus. We'll start with propaganda broadcast, because that seems to fit.
System survey complete.
Alright, so another science ship. We're going to be playing whack-a-mole with these science ships for a while.
Anomaly found.
But my goal here is, okay, we got a 12% failure risk. So atmospheric readings of Panel 3 do not match simulated projections. Let's research it. Alright, so we got some other people going through. Arctic world, 0% habitability. We got 2 places that are habitable. So what we really need to do is to just go ahead and save up some cash. So Eyes of Teal. So he's been selected, and we can look at his mandate. And any of these elected leaders are always going to come with some kind of mandate. And he wants us to build mining stations around suitable planetoids. Well, you're in luck. We're going to be building plenty of mining stations. But we also want to... Okay, you're just sitting here. I guess you ran away from something. Oh, you don't have a scientist. Why don't you have a scientist? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did one of our scientists, I guess, died? I feel like I should have seen that. Okay, or maybe one of our scientists just peaced out and quit. Let's see here. I'll recruit you. Or did I just never actually recruit somebody and accidentally assign them? I don't think that would have happened. That scientist dying, now that happens. Okay, swirling shadows. And what do you mean when you say you're going to create the culture? That's a reference that I guess I'm not that familiar with. But immense ragged planes of shadow drift across the surface. They cast not clouds, but by sheets of organic material drifting through the upper layers of the atmosphere, hinged or rather jointed to allow for a small degree of articulation. Science officer Feathers of White is yet unwilling to say whether these things are flora or fauna, or what possible purpose, if any, their elaborate shadow casting might serve. So we do have, I believe, this means we have a little thing that we can research over here. So we're getting more autosave. Maybe not. That may just be society bonus. Alright, so once again you can see every time we have to go back and forth, back and forth. But Wormhole plus Ring seems like it's pretty good, so... Habitable World Survey, that's from, you've seen that on the blog stream before and stuff too. It's pretty much, let's start finding all the worlds that we can inhabit. Colony ship. 94 short, we're almost there. And instead of sending these things out one by one, I'm just going to start queuing the survey. And look at, it's like every time you want to go back, you have to go back and forth. But still, if we can find more habitable worlds, that would be good, and that means we need to actually get colony ships.
System survey complete.
Oh, okay. I've heard of Banks' series. It's one of those that I haven't read. I'm currently just starting with Revelation Space by Alistair Reynolds. So that series is gonna keep me going for a while. Why are you not wanting to survey this? There we go.